That chicken scared the fire out of me. Pin 15? I don't know what pin 15 is. What's that? One, 5. Yeah, I don't know what that one is. Don't know what pin 15 is. Sorry. C0CK. I don't know what that one is either. What is that? Pulse is lit. N1GGER? I don't know what that one is either. God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not good at the coding. Decoding was never my. I wasn't good at that, you know. I took a spy class once, and that's why I couldn't be a spy. They're like, "Hey, we need you to code this message," and I couldn't. It was these exact same ones, and I was like, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out for nothing, and I was like, "Holy crap, I don't know how to decode." And like, look, man, you know, you're good out in the field, but if you can't decode, we can't have that around here. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. I mean, I wish I could, but I don't get these numbers. They just throw me off. I don't see how a number could be a letter or a letter could be a number. I don't know. It was throwing me off. And they're like, look, you're off the squad. You're gone. You're kicked out. And that was it. Those were my last couple of days. They gave me a quick farewell and booted me out. You are, and then A. So U, capital R, and then a C, and then a U, and then an N, and a T. Yeah. Again, like I said, I took that class, but I wasn't good at that class. It was one of those class. Like I'm pretty good at like normal things, you know. But then he took me in those classes, and I couldn't. I wasn't good at like figuring things out like that, you know. It was crazy. Like I couldn't wrap my mind around it. Like why and how. But you know, to each their own. I guess I couldn't figure it out myself. I tried, I did. I mean, I even had somebody that was coming over and helping me study, and it went to heck and back. I just couldn't figure it out. Could not figure it out. So they dropped me out of there. Oh, I'm gonna. My cousin smokes pot in the womb and killed my aunt from the inside out. Whoa, freaking bad to the bone, cousin. There. Might want to tell him. Might want to lay off that. I guess you really RLLY do have autism. I mean, I don't think so. Then again, I've never been checked for it, so you know, hey, you never know. You never know. I like to think that I'm very special, in my own special kind of way. We need sand. Let's go get some sand. Is that a bird? Oh no, it's a bat. I was like, what? Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Oh man, I didn't bring my shovel. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, I don't have. What? Oh, bollocks. Bad to the bone. This guy is and she should go to heck. This guy's a freak head, and he should go to heck. It's like a tongue twister there. Freak head, and he should go to heck. Where is heck? Heck and back and heck, flack and heck, slack and heck, mac and heck, slime and heck, rack and heck. That's it. I, and then you have a capital C, lowercase u, lowercase p. Huh. I don't know if that one's that either. Yeah, like I said, I tried the coding class and it just never worked out for me. Your mom's A, then a lowercase. Oh, well, it's a lowercase a, lowercase r, lowercase s, lowercase e. I'm not quite sure on that one either, guys. I don't. Like I said, I tried taking the class. I did the best I could. You know, it was the top of my class and everything else. And that was the one thing they're like, yep, you know what? You can't do it. you can't. You're terrible. And then you're gonna get a look capital a lowercase u, a lowercase r, capital A, lowercase f, lowercase a. It looks like that says failed, and then a capital A B O R. Then you got a capital T I O N. Again, like I said, I tried taking the class, guys. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you guys. I'm just not good at decoding. I haven't mastered that skills yet. You know. They say, like when you start streaming, they're like, hey, they give you like a spy class 101. It's because it's like supposed to help you with like odds and things like that, because they're like, oh, sometimes you'll be streaming and people come up to you and they'll use codes and stuff, and you got to be able to like decipher it, you got to know what's going on. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to be in the know. So like they gave me this spy class, and it's like spy class 101 decoding the message, and I was like, okay, cool, I was taking my classes, and I almost graduated. It was my senior year. I just had this last class. Your coding teacher probably wanted to hang you from a tree. Well, I don't think he wanted to do that as much as he just wanted to just really try to get me to grasp the understanding of it. And I was just like, hey, I'm trying, man. I really am. But it just, these numbers and the letters and the codes, and they get in with my head, and I couldn't figure it out. So anyways, it was my junior year. I was just about to graduate. No, it was my senior year. I'm sorry, my senior year. Like, I was all pumped. I was like, yeah, I'm about to be a spy agent. Woo, woo, like James Bond kind of crap, And I was like, all right, cool. We're already on the hunt. We're ready to take on the day. I'm about to be a spy. And like, then they came up to me it was about 2 weeks before graduations. And they're like, hey, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I hear a skeleton. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we got some bad news. And I was like, all right, yeah, hey, no problem. What, did I not score my 100% like I normally do on all my other my tests? I know I'm having issues with my decoding class, but I'm really trying. I think I'm gonna pass. And they're like, look, man, you're just not getting the decoding. I don't know how else to tell you this, but you're not grasping it. And I was like, well, I'm trying. I've been going to tutoring classes. I've been staying after class to, figure this out. Like, I'm doing everything I can. I don't seem to understand it. And like, look, man, I don't know what else to tell you. Either you get this or you're not gonna be able to walk. And I was like, all right. And then, like, the week before, like, I did my big, huge final. You got to do a huge final, and I did my big, huge final and whatnot, and then as I was like doing my final, I got done, and I was like, "Oh, right!" I felt pretty good about it. And then they called me up, because like normally they say, they call you up and like, "Hey, congratulations! Can't wait to see you at graduation." So they called me up, and I'm like, "Oh, right, man! Can't wait to see you at graduation." And like, whoa, 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 whoa! Hold up, you're not going. And I was like, "What? I'm not going." And he's like, "Yeah, man, you're not going." And I was like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Because you didn't pass the decoding class. You failed. You actually did the worst. Like, I actually gave you negative points because of how bad it was." And I was like, negative? Come on, man. I mean, like, it couldn't have been that bad. And they're like, no, you're like the big, huge laughing stock in the class. Everyone's laughing at you. They're like, I can't believe it. He failed so bad. Like, oh my God, it was terrible. And they're like, holy crap, is it? And then I showed your classmates. Hope you don't mind, but I showed your classmates, and they all laughed at you and they think you're retarded. And I was like, well, I didn't even know what to say. I was so disappointed. I took all my money, all my college funds, all my money in my piggy bank and stuff, and I gathered it all up, so I could take this class, because I wanted to be the best that I could be. I wanted to be the spy agent of the time, and like it wouldn't. I don't even know. Like, I couldn't even get it to go. Like, I was trying so hard to do like this class, and I couldn't wrap it around. I couldn't figure it out. I just, and to make a long story short, they booted me. So that's why I wasn't good at decoding. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, coding class. Yeah, it's definitely terrible. I tried dressing up for Spy Kids. We had a Halloween. They had a Halloween. It was Halloween one day, and I was like, oh man, what's everybody dressing up as? And they're like, bro, we don't dress up. And like, what do you mean you don't dress up? And I was like, what? Come on, bro, it's like Halloween. You gotta dress up. And they're like, dude, we're gonna be a spy. We're always gonna dress up. So Halloween don't mean squat to us. And I was like, what? You guys don't know. So then I remember I came in and I dressed up as Spy Kids, and I was all like, what? Look at me with all my cool gadgets. And then they all laughed at me and they're like, dude, I can't believe you did that. Get out of here. And I was like, no, you know what? You guys are just jealous because I'm the top of the class, except for the decoding class, and you guys are just jelly. And they're like, dude, we don't even care. You can't decode, so get out of here. And I was like, one day you guys are gonna regret this. And I'm still waiting for that day when they do regret it. But it's just it hasn't came yet, so I'm not 100% sure. Just wait, the fit just. I can't push. Six just drop. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was part of actually. Speaking of that, that was actually part of the class. Like, so in order to be a spy, you had to take away like all emotions. So like one of the things they did is they made you raise this puppy, and like I was like, what? Cool, we get a puppy, and you're like, yeah, it's your spy dog. It's gonna be legit. You're gonna have cool gadgets with the puppy and stuff, but you gotta train it to do spy things with you and like be active and stuff like that. And I was like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. So like I'm training my puppy, and like we're doing really well with this puppy. Like it's doing well. Like it's growing up. I've really like gone to like really love this puppy. It's been like my friend ever since, because I told you the story about the Halloween. Everybody made fun of me, and since then, everyone just kind of ignored me. I was top of the class, but no one really liked me that much. So I would just I couldn't. I could, the whole decoding class, right? Remember, I couldn't make the decoding class. So I have my puppy, and it's just me and my puppy, and we're just, we're hanging out, enjoying the day. And then they call us all in, and they're like, never mind. And then so they call us all in, and they're like, hey man, we need you to bring your puppy in for a couple of tests. This will be one of your tests before you kind of get close to graduation. I know graduation's coming up; it's right around the corner. As long as you pass the decoding class, you should be good. And I was like, all right, cool. And then one of the things is like they gave me this gun and they're like, all right, so you train this dog and everything. This is like your dog that you love. And I was like, what? Yeah. They're like, I want you to shoot the dog. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you got to shoot the dog in order for you to pass. And I was like, no way. And they're like, yeah. So, I was trying to do it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. They're like, in order for you to pass, you have to kill your dog. And I was like, I can't do it, man. Like, I love my puppy. You don't understand. And they're like, look, it's gonna make you a better person. You're gonna feel better about this. Don't worry, we do this every time. And I was like, okay. So they gave me the gun, and like I couldn't do it. And they're like, you know what? You're gonna fail. Maybe if you pass your decoding class, you might make it, but if not, you pretty much failed. So I don't even know why you're still here. And I was like, oh man, just because I didn't kill my puppy. And they're like, yeah. So then after the whole interview and whatnot with me taking my test, I went home, and then I pulled out my quick little silencer that they gave you in my shooting class, because recommendation don't work for. Yeah, well, that was another thing too, believe it or not. We actually had to work on that too, and I'll kind of go into that briefly. So one of the things is, so with the puppy, let me finish the puppy story first. The puppy story is kind of important. You'll like this. So we're doing the puppy thing, and everything's kind of going well. And like I said, I left the interview, and they're like, yo, this dude tried to I was really told them this story. So yeah, well, actually, believe it or not, thank you, Nightbot. Yippee ki yay! Yeah. So anyways, about the puppy. So I get home and I'm all depressed. I'm like, man, I really need to pass this. And the dog's looking at me like, yo, the dog's like all like happy and like wanting to play and stuff. And I'm like, not today. So I turned on some really like I turned on actually some heavy metal. I was like, and I was just like really just jamming out. And then at that point, I just grabbed that little silencer they gave me in my little shooting class. I put it on the little barrel, and I looked at my puppy, and I said, you know what? We've had some good times. We've had some ups and downs. You remember that one time you peed on my shoe, and then that one time you made me late for class because I was trying to find you because you ran away from me. I'm just gonna say, and I'm not saying that that's why this is happening, but I need to pass this class. I've put all my money towards it. This is my whole tuition and funds have gone towards it. So then, I pulled out the silencer and I killed the dog. So then, like the next day, I go to the professor and I'm like, hey, man, I passed the test. Like, I killed the dog. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, man. Like, you told me I got to kill the dog in order to pass. And I know my decoding's not going too well, so I wanted to make sure I have a better chance. So I killed the dog. And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. So I gave him like the dead body of the dog. And I'm like, so am I still gonna pass? And they're like, dude, are you retarded? You're crazy. Like, that was another reason they didn't like me either. I was the only one that apparently actually killed the dog because the gun that they gave us actually had a blank and it was just to see if you would shoot it. Um, and yeah, I failed it the first time, so I wanted to make it up. And when I went to make it up, I didn't know that they actually had blanks, in the actual gun. And I actually killed my puppy. Can you tell us what you did this morning? This morning I woke up and well, no, hold on. First, hold on. We gotta go back first. All right. So in the beginning, actually, this morning I didn't sleep all day. I've been up probably since 10 o'clock the following day, that afternoon, and then I've been up ever since. And then I had to go into work early at like 3 o'clock ish, something about like that. So yeah, and then I got off around 2, and I was able to take me a small mini nap for about an hour, so that felt pretty good. At least I was able to get a little bit of rest. But then then I was like, yo, I totally need to get my stream. I know I didn't pass my spy class, and I know no one's gonna want to stop by, but who knows? Maybe somebody who like just thinks I'm just really interesting or retarded. Maybe they'll stop by and they'll feel sorry for me and they'll come and stop by and say hey. So then I was like, you know what? Let me get my stream. Long time no see. What is up, Blackout 3000? So I was like, let me get my thing going here. Let's see if maybe somebody might stop by, and someone did stop by, and they were talking to me about some coding, and I was like, crap! They pulled up, and they started talking about coding stuff, and I was like, man, I don't know any of this coding stuff, and then I started telling the story about my whole spy situation and how that went, and they're like, holy crap, dude, I don't even know where to begin with you, and it just kind of went downhill from there. So I'm hoping maybe they'll stick around, but I'm not 100% sure. Can you give us an overview of the Civil War? The Civil War began off in 19. It was actually in 1995. I'm pretty sure 1972 actually. To be exact, 1972. There was yeah, yeah. I don't know. Blackout. They use these weird spy thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Like they use these decoding things, and but anyways, to make a long story short, so where were we going at here? Oh, so the Civil War. So in 1972, there's a man named General Lee Washington, and General Lee Washington controlled the South. Like he was the head dog. Like if you needed something to go on or something to go down, some business deal, some bank transaction, like whatever you needed, he was the man. General Lee Washington, and he controlled the South. And when he was in the South, his buddy came by, who came down from the North, and his name was Washington Lee. Now Washington, in all honesty, did you leave the house this morning? I did actually. I really did. I actually had to go to work and stuff. I mean, come on. You think I just sit here and just make up stories all day? Come on, what? I mean, not make up stories. These are true. These are true stories. These are, and this is live events. Like you're getting the raw detail of my history here. So in the Civil War, they had the North, and his name was Lee Washington. I mean, no, the South was Lee Washington, and the North was Washington Lee. And let's go to sleep first. Washington Lee here, which was with the North. Washington with the North, Lee is with the South. All right, so Washington Lee comes down to the South, and he's like, hey, man, I see you got these big, huge plantations, which are basically like huge farms that like produce a whole bunch of crops. Oh, man, look how beautiful this land is. Holy cow. Look at this. This place looks awesome. Look at the color. So anyways, Washington. Oh, there's a skeleton on fire. That's a sad story. Poor skeleton. He didn't make it. So anyway, so Washington Lee came down to the South, and he's like, hey, man, these plantations you got. Well, hold on, man. Look, we got to go through one thing at a time. Washington Lee, he's working. he came down from the north and he came to go see his buddy Lee Washington because they were best friends. Mainly because they just had like their names backwards and they thought that was kind of cool. They went to high school together, and they used to actually work some of the fields and stuff. Um, in all honesty, I can smell the ad from here. The ad, the ad, the ad, the ad. I don't know. Adding, subtracting. I don't know. Oh, the pear tree. Let's get a pear. We need a pear. We don't have a pear. What do I got? Barley seed. Nobody wants that. Acacia. Yeah, I'll take that. I don't want that. A bone. Heck, I don't want that. I want this pear though. Come here, pear. You're my pear. So anyway, so Washington, he goes to see his friend Lee, and he's like, Lee, man, these farms you got, they're really great, but I think the working conditions you have for these farms. Thank you so much for that follow. Rumble Rub, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So back to our story, guys. Thank you guys. Welcome to Apollo Nation. Guys, we hit our follower goal tonight. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys come and stop by again. Definitely don't leave. We still got to finish our story with the Civil War. Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. Look, guys, we just crushed the follower goal. We crushed the Apollo Nation goal. This is just a round of a celebration. Thank you guys so much. We Night 60, Blackout, No Chill Trolling, Rub Me, Crack Baby. Thank you guys so much for all your follows. You guys are awesome. And welcome to Apollo Nation, guys. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Because we're going to I want to get up there, but I don't have enough stuff to get up there. Maybe when I get a jetpack. So we're going to finish our story. So anyways, you had Lee Washington, and he was, from the South, and you had Washington Lee, and he's like, look, man, these plantation things, the farms are growing great. I love what you're doing around the place. But the North up here, the follow train, I just had yeah, the follow train was real, man. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you. You guys, that really is, that's so helpful. Thank you. You guys are awesome. So anyways, so this guy, he's from the South, right? And oh, thorns. And he's just running around. Oh, I need to eat. Crap. I need to eat. No wonder. So anyways, Washington, he came from the South, and he's like, man, I love what you're doing here, but these plantations, the work conditions are just they're not working well. And Lee getting all upset, because he's the head man in the South. Like, if you want anything done in the South, Lee's the man to see. So Lee's like, working conditions, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this place is perfect. Look around, these people look healthy. And like, one person was starting to like cough, and he just kind of gave that one of those workers like just like an evil stare. And like immediately that cough became to like a happy, joyful song, like, oh, we love working with Lee Washington. Oh, he is the great and wonderful man from the South. Oh, we love working with him because it gives us great working conditions. And then Washington was like, I don't know. I'm going to go with it for now. Ooh, this is a scary area here. I'm going to go with it for okay, let's just not go in there anymore. Let's just decide not to go in there. That's a creepy area. We'll just stay away from that. I would like to collect this tree, though. Can I get that? So, Washington's like, man, I don't know. There's something fishy about this place. And, like, he just couldn't put his finger on it. He wasn't quite sure what was going on. But he knew something was going on. And that's something he was just like, I don't know. But I know that there's something about this idea that they got going on here. It's just thank you so much, please. Welcome to Apollo Nation. So, Washington was like, I just don't know. There's something going on here. I'm not 100% sure. And I just feel there's something in my gut telling me that there's something wrong with what Lee down there in the South is doing. So Washington gets his buddies together and he's like, look, man, we need to get these guys and we need to go figure out what they're doing and we need to stop what they're doing. And Lee got word of it because one of the guys from the North was a little blabbermouth. Yeah, he just like loved telling everybody. And the problem was one of Lee's cousins from the South, Joe Sam was out there and he's like, hey, he was listening to one of the Northern guys who was Sam Joe. Sam Joe had like told Joe Sam what happened. And, Sam Joe didn't know that Joe Sam was actually from the South. So he told Lee, and Lee was like, oh, they're going to get a band of brothers to come take me down and take away what I've been working for. They don't know who I am. I am Lee Washington, because Washington Lee is going to learn today is basically what happened. And at that point, they just got their bands together. They got a huge army and they were prepared to take on each other. And then, to make a long story short, do you have the slightest clue on what you're talking about? I do. Yeah. There's a reason to my madness. And then to make a long story short, Washington did win the South. Lee didn't stand a chance. They ended up getting together and they signed a treaty at the Gettysburg Address in 1999. And in 1999, they signed the Gettysburg Address. Well, actually, no, it wasn't until recently. It was actually in 2015. Well, no, was it 2000? No, 2010. I wanted to say 2010. Enough. In 2010, they signed the treaty, and that's what's helped the South. They fixed their working conditions and things like that. So yeah, there you go. That's the whole story of the Civil War, gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was fun telling you guys. I don't know what happened. Your message got deleted. I don't know. Are you guys up for some horror games? Would you guys like to see some fun horror games? 2001. Was it in 2001? Oh, that's right. It was in 2001. There's nothing short about this. Yeah. Ooh, what is this? What the heck is that? A gooseberry. That's weird. I've never seen anything like that. Another pear. We're gonna get a pear. So we're actually gonna head back to our house. Puts guns away. We asked for brief. Oh, brief. Yeah, that was the one thing about that was another thing about the spy class. We had to do storytelling and we had to like tell, you had to go on the phone and they did. Ooh, a village. They had you had to be on the phone. I came in here for 2 minutes and all I hear is rambling low. What's up, Toxic? How are you, man? So we came in the spy class. You had there was another thing you had to go on, and it was the you had to pretend like you were in a dangerous situation. You had to have a 2-minute phone call and explain everything that happened. You're supposed to tell everybody what was going on within 2 minutes, and I always went over. It was always in 2 hours later. And I end up failing that class too. So now that I look at it, I really wasn't the top of my class in my spy class, with decoding messages and things. And that became a really issue, I think, with the program. And that's why it was hard for me to start, my streams and things. They were just like, nah, this guy, he doesn't get the decoding. He spent all this money, but he just doesn't get it, And then that's what happened. I spy a black P. It's a lowercase p, a lowercase e, a lowercase n, and a lowercase I, and a lowercase s. Toxic, follow him, please. Actually, Toxic is one of our regulars. He comes in here all the time, so he is following the stream. Trust me. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. We are about to once I get back to the